It's time for American Brain and Brawn, starring John Brenkus and Lacey Evans.
We are live.
I almost didn't make it on the couch for this one, John.
Wow. You're just coming out of the gate just full on horns. Look at you. Coming rushing.
I just need, you know what? I need to light some sage around here and just calm down. Today is a rough day, but you know what? As a tough chick I am, I'm going to pull through and drink my coffee and not be so damn mean all the time.
Well, yeah. You know what? There are a lot of people who are saying you're awfully mean to me. You know? You are. You're awfully mean to me. It's like somehow gives you an endorphin rush to just be mean to me, and you need to change that. We need to talk about that.
What do you want, a diaper, John? Security blanket? Something? I don't got nothing for you.
I have my American Brain and Brawn whoopee. I've got a blanket with American Brain and Brawn whoopee. I think that it's pretty clear that I'm out of the woods for the time being. Last week's show with Ozzy was pretty amazing.
Yes, it was.
And the comments and the feedback was incredible. And because it's Veterans Day right now, Lacey, you said to me, "Hey, John, do you have any friends who served?" And I said, "Do I have any friends? I work with Well, first of all, I don't really have friends, but I have people I know."
Yeah, I was going to correct you, but I figured you'd correct yourself.
Exactly. So anyway, I work with Cliff, the clean energy drink. We are founded by a Navy SEAL, run by a Navy SEAL, and I have the incredible honor to meet some unbelievable people who are vets who, are either in the Navy in different divisions and been absolutely amazing. And actually, Lacey, that's how you and I met. We met on Memorial Day on Salute Across America.
Yes, we did. That was a great program. And I'm excited. You're right. It is Veterans Day. I know that everybody's seeing it on their social media. So yeah, we're pretty much going to give this platform to some motivators. And John's got probably the perfect one. I haven't got to meet him yet. So I'm literally going to be all ears because his story is just as motivated as he is. And not only what he's been through, but what he's doing. So everybody listen, because like I said, this is Veterans Day and we're going to use our platform to highlight some really cool people.
All right. So we're going to spend the show with a good friend of mine. He works with Cliff, was in the Navy, is unbelievable. His life story is something that is, when they say truth is stranger than fiction, this is absolute fact. One of the most inspiring people I've ever met, including Lacey. More inspiring than Lacey. Lacey's inspiring, but Duong Wong takes it to a whole other level. Dash, welcome to American Brain and Brawn.
Hello, you nasty.
Hello, Lacey and John. I can't tell you how humbled I am to be on this show with y'all, and I've watched you guys over the couple of months, and thanks so much for having me.
Yeah. Now listen, Dash, I know you've watched. I know you're a big fan, and I know that you admire Lacey a lot, and you're pretty neutral about me, although we are friends. But I don't have this kind of story in the pedigree. I'm not built like you and Lacey. You guys have an unbelievable backstory. Please tell everyone, first of all, your name is Duong Wong, and tell us about the origin of your name.
Well, I mean, in the teams, a lot of people would call me 16 Candles the Donger. My name comes from a pretty interesting background. But first off, John, I want to say I'm not neutral with you at all. I know it sounds cliche, but man, what a great friend you've been. Your positivity, you've always upbring people. And I know Lacey might think it's pretty funny, but I got to meet you in person in Utah. And that's when we first met. And you're an incredible individual. So yeah, no neutrality there. You're a great friend. My name comes, gosh, I was born and raised in Hawaii. My parents want nothing to do with me. So my dad left, my mom left. I was left in a hospital, a Tripler Army Medical Hospital. And since I had no name, they one-lined my birth certificate. So I was nicknamed Dash. Fast forward, ended up.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let's work on that. So your name is Dash because it was essentially blank,
Yep.
where it said name and it was just a line, and rather than being called Line, they nicknamed you Dash.
I'm really glad they didn't pick hyphen. So
Exactly. Yeah. All right, Lacey. So Dash, we want to talk about resilience and being strong and coming back from adversity. So we're starting off in a hospital alone with as Dash. Dash, continue, because you are this is what I'm telling you, the most inspirational person I've met. Go on.
Well, thanks again. They ended up finding my mom. Bless her. We grew up in tough times. We ended up being homeless and whole. Interesting choices, I would say. And, so I ended up getting put up for adoption. I was in Child Protective Services for a while, and I was blessed to be adopted by an Asian family, the Wongs. And I don't know if it was some type of cynical Asian joke they play on white people, or I don't know if I can say that on the show, but they changed my middle name from Ryan, my last name from Hartman, to Duong Wong. And I was so blessed. I was so thankful to be in a family, so accepted. Academics was, of course, huge. And I didn't start school to the 5th grade. So to have this name, to have something I belonged to, was truly, truly like a gift for me. So I accepted the name, I accepted the title, and I'm Duong Wong. That's me.
That's amazing. I mean, so that really poured the foundation. And I love how, really the word is blessed. I mean, you start off, you have tons of adversity, but God works in mysterious ways, and you are incredibly blessed to find a family and to be surrounded by love. So from your childhood, take us from there. Take us on Dash's journey. Uh-oh. Are you still there, Dash?
So my journey was, I didn't like anything. Oh, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can.
Check. Radioed. Oh, I'm frozen.
You're okay.
Back.
You're good.
All right. So, while I was in high school, there was a JROTC, a military program for kids in high school who had an interest in joining the military. So I joined that. I was in Air Force JROTC, and when I got to my senior year, I had a letter from the governor to go to the Air Force Academy. So that was my route. I was supposed to join the Air Force, and I had every intentions of leaving Hawaii. I seen all the bad parts of it, seen all the great parts of it, and I was just landlocked. I wanted to go see a lot more, see the country, see the world. So I don't know what happened, and this is the great Navy joke of how did you end up in the Navy? My best friend, we surfed a bunch together, was like, dude, I'm going to go join this SEALs program, and you should come with me. And I was like, well, I don't really want to. Long story short, I ended up going through what's called SWCC school. It's Special Warfare Combatant Craft Crewman School. While I was 17, we're embedded in the SEAL teams. We're basically if you ever seen like Black Hawk pilots, the helicopter pilots for the Army, we do the same thing in the Navy for the SEAL teams or Army CAG or Marine Corps. We take SEALs in, take Special Forces operators in, and bring them off of targets. And so I was blessed to do that. So I joined the Navy. I was 17 years old. I had a great career. I had 16 years embedded specifically with SEAL teams. And yeah, it was a very high speed, low drag, crazy experience in the military. I lost a lot of really good friends. I also did a lot of great work overseas, and we made a huge difference, or at least what I feel personally. And it was just an honor. I think back to a lot of guys who are still in. My career got cut short due to medical reasons, but to all my brothers who are still in, who watch these shows and who support everything that Killcliff does, and John, all the shows that you put on with Ted, I mean, they love it. They watch this stuff overseas. They get a kick out of it, and it makes them feel like they're truly respected, or they're honored on your shows because of the patronage that you guys have. So,
That's it.
Yep.
I really want to know, Dash, you and Lacey, obviously feel free to jump in, but you talked about that you had to leave because of medical issues. Can you elaborate on some of the medical challenges you've had to overcome?
Sure. Yeah. The big one was in 2017. a group of we were deployed overseas to the east coast of Africa. When we came back, 4 of us were diagnosed with cancer. I was diagnosed with lung cancer, so stage 2 adenocarcinoma, which was a huge shock. I never smoked. I didn't do any tobacco products. I was training for my first Ironman, and I definitely lived up to my name. For all those who know me, I could not stop running. That's all I did. It was run. Maybe a couple lifts there for you, Lacey. But I was probably never as strong as you. I mean, I've seen some of the stuff you do. It's amazing. But I loved running. I just loved it. Cardio was my thing. So the big joke of the team was, I mean, we all smoke, everyone would smoke a Victory cigar, or, guys casually smoked, or maybe chain smoked. I don't know. I'm not calling you guys out. But when I got diagnosed with cancer, they're like, you, of all people, lung cancer? It was a huge shock, not just to me, but to everybody around me. What ultimately ended up happening is they had to remove my right lung because things got so complicated and bad. I ended up bleeding out internally. I lost 40% of my blood in my chest cavity. And I woke up in the ICU with the chaplain over me praying, which you never, I mean, if you come out of a surgery and there's a chaplain standing next to you, it is the most, I mean, it should be like hey, chaplain, how are you? It's the most terrifying, sobering feeling I could possibly give to somebody, because you wonder, you don't wonder, you know exactly what the severity of your situation. I remember him asking me specifically how I wanted my children to grow up and what ambitions I had for them, what college to go through. And he told me, he's like, the Navy SEAL Foundation is going to take care of you and your family and your children, and there's nothing for you to worry about. And I was just ridden with this. I don't know if it's because I'm an arrogant or stubborn man, but I was just like, I grew up with no father. I didn't have a father figure in my life. And I was like, I'm going to make damn sure my kids grow up with a father. I don't care, what you say it's going to happen to me or how you think this is going to play out. I will start walking. I will get out of this bed. I had tubes coming out of everywhere. I had tubes out of my ribs, tubes out of my back. I had a breathing ventilator on me. And I have a picture that I can send to you of me walking around with the nurse with my gaiters on, the rest of the team behind me. I wasn't going to accept no for an answer. There's a term that we use in the teams, and it's a no fail. We never quit. We always kept persevering, no matter what obstacles in front of us, no matter the challenges. We'll push forward because the entire nation's on our back. We have to succeed. We have to complete this mission. And that's what I look to as fatherhood, because of the way I was brought up. So fast forward, that was 2017. I got my lung removed in 2018. And now I am medically retired, and I work full-time for Killcliff, which is the greatest company on the planet. And I'm a one lung breathing, lean, mean fighting machine. I guess I went from a 4-stroke to a 2-stroke in the dirt biking world. So I love life, and that's kind of where I'm at now.
So Lacey, and there's more to the story. Lacey, but you want to hop in here?
Oh my gosh. Okay. I have so many questions. I'm glad John didn't brief me on you or what you've been through, because 9 times out of 10, the people that we have on the show, I know their background. I know their story. I've already kind of felt it and been through those roller coasters of emotion. So I'm kind of just like speechless, because this is the first time I'm hearing this, and coming from somebody who has been through a lot of crap in their life. I have a question for you, because everybody's story is different. The way people take things in their lives are different. Some people can go through half of what you've been through or what I've been through, and it rocks them, and it feels like it's worse. So yeah, everybody's situation is different. But my question to you is, I would ask, how did you get through all of those things? But I think I can relate to you and say we didn't have a choice. There was no other option. So I feel like that would be the answer. But what I really am curious about, because I don't know how you will respond to this, is when you're sitting there, like when this is over, in about 30, 45 minutes, whatever, you turn the screen off and you go back to being a father, you going back to being an employee, going back to being a human. How do you not, after everything you've been through, as you're sitting there watching your babies and you're being that badass dad that they deserve, as you're sitting there with one lung motivating these veterans and these people all around you, how is your anger level? Do you ever, because that's what I struggle with, you know, what my parents put me through, what I've been through in my life, how my brain is. Some days I just want to like it physically grab it and like just be so mad at what I've been through. And do you ever find yourself sitting there just pissed, just so angry or sad that like kind of like a why me thing, not like victim, pitiful, like I'm not gonna, you know, because no, hell no, we're gonna make it. Every day we're gonna wake up one lung or not, you know. But do you ever just find that anger, just like that fire just starting to build in you? And if you do, what do you do to like stop it?
Well, that's an amazing question. And before I answer it, I just want to say this is I know that I've had circumstances that happened in my life that were negative or not in the best situations. I never want people to look at my situation and say, well, he was way worse off and he did okay. My problems are way less, or they don't mean as, you know, they're never going to be up to that level. So I shouldn't worry as much. I think everybody's problems or everything that we go through life is warranted, whether it's you have a slight cold and it's the most worst thing. It's the most miserable you've ever been. That's warranted. Like that's a struggle. That's a tribulation that you're going through. And if I can help you fight through that through some type of mental aspect to help you overcome that, I mean, that's a win for both of us. So yes, I had some shitty things happen in my life, but that doesn't make the shitty things that are happening in someone else's life less shitty. That's the best way I can put it. I've seen people that are way worse than me. That's the best way. I don't know how to explain it any better than that. But as far as that fire, I would be a liar if I told you that those feelings never erupted in me. Every situation I've ever been through, whether I was living on the street, I used to go to a graveyard when I was 10 years old. And there was a graveyard, and I used to go there and I used to work with him, and I'd pick the flowers off the trees. I didn't steal them from the grave. I'd pick the flowers off the trees. I'd string them up with fishing line, and I'd go downtown to Waikiki and sell it to all the tourists. This was at 10 years old. And I loved it. I thought I was giving back. I saw the smile on people's faces. I made a lot of money. I was like, this is a great job. I'm doing things, and I got to do the things I like to do. But I never saw myself in this like weird struggle. I just need a way to overcome. I need to find an adaptive way to succeed. Otherwise, I'm not going to eat. I'm not going to get to go play at the arcade, which is what I really wanted to do. There was a fire inside me that was pissed off about my situation looking back on it. During the tribulation that I was going through, I was just trying to make it. It was like, okay, this is my problem. How do I overcome? What's the next steps? What can I look forward to? It was never a why me, it was a what's next. My perspective was always on the end goal or a forward thinking of how to succeed, rather than sitting there in my own self-pity and misery being like, woe is me, someone should help me. Fast forward to going through cancer, or this was the hardest thing I ever had to do and I learned a very, very valuable lesson, was being in the military. I was a tier 1 unit. I got to operate at the highest levels of the military. I got to work with the best people in the entire world. And now all of that's going to be stripping from me because of stupid cancer. And now I'm taking my lung and I can't jump out of airplanes. I can't dive. I can't do all these things. I have these limitations. I spent 16 years of my life training to be this person that they wanted me to be, putting my entire identity in something that I believed in, now to get it all removed. Like, you want to talk about anger and frustration, that was me. And I thought that my anger and frustration would help me persevere through my tribulation, when I was 1,000% wrong. My focus was more on me at the time when it should have been on others. And that's the message that I would like to send to people, is in the deepest part of your misery or your tribulation or your struggle, the less you spend worrying about yourself, and the more you spend thinking about the good that you can do for other people that are struggling like you, the better you're going to be off. The less pain you'll feel, the less struggle, the less pity, the less that weight comes on your shoulders. When I thought I would visualize myself with no hair and standing in front of a church of people with their own struggles saying, life is great. Like, life is cherishable. Life is the best thing you can do. To breathe, like for me, breathing is a struggle now. Every breath I take hurts tremendously because of the scar tissue in my lung. breathing. I don't take anything for granted, and neither should anybody else. If I could draw that perspective to somebody to show them how blessed they truly are, that's a win. So that was my message, is anger is always going to be there, that fire, that frustration. It's how you harness it, because those emotions are true. And if you break down anger is just a confusing form of sadness, or something that you don't understand. So what comes out is aggression, because you don't know how to cope with this. So you need to outlash. But instead, if you focus it, if you channel it saying, here's my situation, what good can I do? Is there something that I can do where it's going to benefit somebody else? Then it becomes less self-pity and more empathy. The more empathetic you can be to others, the better your life will become. That's my personal belief, and that's how I got through it.
That's amazing.
Wow.
You know, when we were out in Utah, first of all, I was so grateful for that trip. I used to live in Park City, and I started working with Killcliff, and Dash came out, and we did an amazing trip with Military Mobility, which is a wonderful charity. Just go check out Military Mobility. And, you know, I really got to spend some time with Dash, and honestly, I didn't know all of Dash's backstory. And as I just kept diving deeper and deeper, Lacey, the thing that really is amazing about Dash is that perspective on, even though whatever you're going through, it's only relative to you. So somebody else, you know, who could theoretically be way worse off or not as bad off, they're going through the same degree of pain that you're going through. And when you try to help others, that it sort of taps into the purpose of life. And that, Dash, I mean, you live such a purpose-driven life. You know, even this calendar year of 2020, I know you've had to overcome some incredible obstacles. Can you talk about what you've had to overcome in 2020? Because most people are like, oh my God, this has been a crazy year. And I don't think it's been any exception for you.
Yeah. I mean, this year has been super challenging for everybody. I mean, with the shutdowns, but, and the viruses, and gosh, we can get into a number of things, but for me personally, I know for my family, it's been COVID. I mean, there's this big thing around the coronavirus, and of course my wife is super hesitant for me to do anything because I'm already compromised in my situation. Well, in March, I ended up getting the coronavirus, and I got the worst bit of it. I know there's different symptoms or different forms that people can get, but unfortunately for me, with my one lung, I ended up getting COVID, and it ended up destroying 40% of my left lung that was left. So I was down to 60% breathing capacity for one lung, and that was rough. It was my wife was struggling with me going through cancer, but through this COVID thing, she definitely thought this was it. And I don't know if I believe it's power of prayer, power of mindset, power of positivity, of the things that you believe in. But I made it through. I'm still fighting the aftermaths of the virus, but working through it. And my biggest message through everybody, like, dude, what were your symptoms, or what helped you, what didn't help you, what things did you take? My biggest thing through that, again, is being empathetic, looking forward. I remember getting COVID, and I just remember praying. I was like, all right, God, you tell us, you give us only the things that we can handle. I was like, but this is a lot. this is a lot. And I remember the interesting thing is I did a podcast right before I got COVID, and it was with another brother of mine. And we talked about shitty situations and how to overcome them. And I told him the same thing I said before, is instead of why me, it's always what's next. What good can I do? And when I got the diagnosis of COVID, and I saw the results of my lung, I remember going right back, and just like Lacey was saying, I remember my mind and my heart was saying, why me? Like, this is messed up. I don't deserve any of this. What did I do? And I was miserable and fed up, and I have a bunch of scar tissue now in my left lung, and I'm not supposed to be doing anything. I'm not supposed to be walking or hiking or backpacking, dirt biking. But I said to the hell with it, because that's what I'm going to do. I love to live life. My best friend said, if you're not living, you're dead. So I keep pushing forward and persevering. But yeah, what a struggle this year has been.
Yeah. I remember, Dash, you were sending me pictures from the hospital, you're saying we all were getting updates at Killcliff, and it was, I mean, we all were on pins and needles because March, people didn't know that much about it. You know, we didn't know what was really going on or how to treat it. And you were, I mean, when you talk about like, yeah, if you're compromised, I mean, you only had one lung and it's a respiratory infection. Like you were behind the 8 ball from the beginning, but you know, honestly, it was no surprise. And I know it was an incredible struggle to get through it, but obviously you persevered through your life in every way possible. It's no surprise that you were able to come out of the other side. And I think for a lot of us, we were rooting and you're that superhero. You're the kind of person. And I know when you're saying, hey, my life and my situation is no different than somebody else's. I mean, that is a tough thing to battle through. And it's so inspiring because the question in that quote that you just said about don't ask why me, ask what's next. You don't really have a choice. You know, if you sit and wallow for too long, you're going to rot. So you've got to be moving. You got to keep going. Where do you find that energy to just always keep it clicking over? Because, you know, especially in March and into April, I know there were probably some very dark moments there.
Yeah, I give a lot of attributes to my military career. You know, being overseas and a lot of deployment places we go to, because we're such a small, specialized team, there's nobody else but us. I mean, if a vehicle breaks down, if weapon systems go down, if equipment breaks, it's up to us to adapt and overcome. That was our biggest mindset that we had, because it's make it or break it. We don't have support of going to Costco or going to a Lowe's or going to what do you call them, Home Depots or whatnot. You have to figure out adaptive. Same. That mindset is so ingrained in you while you're going through training. It's adaptability or die. I mean, every situation that we go through, whether it's military free fall or it's heavy weapons training or it's high speed hook and climbs on ships or it's breaching of doors, everything is so complex, so fast, so high speed that you have to adapt. There's no strategic, like this is A, B, and C, how it happens. You know, when you come through this door, there's going to be target here and you're going to interact with him. And then the next door you're going to go through, there's going to be a hostage and there's going to be a bad guy holding on to him. Nothing's cookie cutter in war. Nothing's like this cut and paste situation. So you need to be fluid. And that's kind of how I go about life or through, I wouldn't say just life, but through situations and turmoil is there are options. There are things that are available to you. There are resources there to support you. You're never alone. You have to change your mindset from, I remember it's a funny guy quote, and a lot of people can make fun of me, but it's Will Smith. Will Smith said, the people that are stuck in suffering can do no humanly good to others. The minute you're stuck in suffering, you're suffering. Everybody else around you, you're either going to bring them down to that level or you're going to be stuck there. It's when you change your mindset from suffering to giving back or doing something better for the world that you're no longer there and other people can actually come in to support you. But if you're just stuck in this wallow, you're stuck. So yeah, that's it.
I love I've never heard that. I'm going to write it down. I think it's that victim mentality that, you know, when you go through a lot, you just get tired, you know, and I know I can only imagine you've been there, but like, and it's so hard to make that decision of, okay, look, it's normal and it's healthy to sit there and take in the struggles and realize what you've been through and be tired and cry and, you know, kind of sulk for a minute. I think we need that to heal, but you also need to make sure to get up, wash your face, take them deep breaths with whatever lung you got left, honey, because I know that you are the prime example of that. And that's incredible that I think, you know, you should sulk a minute. Realize what you've been through, take it in and feel it. And like you said, get up and you've got to take that breath, wash your face and make that step to continue to keep going because you've got the choice. You have the body, you have the ability, you've got the breath, you've got the day to do that. But everybody out there listening, I hope that y'all are listening and just thinking like, wow, and being motivated by this man, and realize that sometimes our problems are not as big as they seem. That is not taking away the pain you're going through, the depression, the anger, whatever, the bills, the struggles. That's not taking away from that. But just seeing other people's stories, seeing their pain, seeing physically, mentally, and emotionally what they've gone through and how they've overcome that, and realize, you know what? I can do the same thing. Just let me take that deep breath. Let me wash my face. You know, I've got 2 lungs, you know, like right now as Lacey Evans, as Macy Estrella, I'm thinking, I'm sitting here as I'm taking my breaths and my chest is rising. I'm thinking like, man, I've got 2 lungs. I can do it. You know what I mean? Just little things to get you up, keep going. And realize like what was it? I just wrote it down. Not why me, but what's next. I think that should be like the theme of today, and definitely what I'm about to tweet on social media, because that is so powerful. It's just incredible what you've been through, and I couldn't imagine, man.
That's just special. You know, it's funny because people like Dash, and when I say people like Dash, Dash has gotten to the essence of life. And in Dash, you're made of love. I mean, you really are. You are a walking testament of love. And regardless of what religion you are, when people say, what is God? Who is God? God is love. God is the very fabric of what makes up everything, regardless of your religious belief. And I know that, Dash, you've tapped into that, and you are perpetuating love just with every breath and with every interaction that you have. You know, and I know that you have to go, Dash, and I really appreciate you giving so much time today. But there are a lot of people who are struggling in 2020, and there are a lot of people who are trying to make sense of it all. And I know that you have given us those words of, you know, don't ask, you know, why me, say what's next. But what's another tip you can give, kind of like the country as a whole, when people are like, oh my God, it's broken and it's crazy. How can you help us get through this crazy time?
Well, that's again, you guys are loaded with like really phenomenal questions. I mean, I can go in probably another hour with this topic of how to overcome what's going on in this situation of turmoil and confusion and fear. And the biggest thing is, as far as my religious beliefs, I'm happy I'm a Christian, and believing in Christ for me personally, whether you believe whatever you believe, it's fine on you, for you. But I personally believe in Jesus, and Jesus talks a lot about these times, and he talks a lot about not living in fear, not living in turmoil or confusion, not giving into those things. And what I say is there is hope for tomorrow. Don't put all your faith in everything in the situations that you're seeing. Don't believe in all the media. If the media, if the news, if all these things, the elections, everything's burning you down and winding you out, and you're wondering what's going to happen or who's going to win or why this and why that, just stop. Just turn it off. Just move on to something else, because tomorrow we'll worry about tomorrow, but today is today. You have to worry about today. You have to worry about the people around you. And I want to leave people with this is identity. Identity was the biggest thing for me. Is my identity was this military operator, right? And all of that was taken from me. And the problem with that identity struggle was once that's stripping away from you, you don't know who you are. You don't know what values you believe in. You don't know what you're supposed to do in life. The more you can ground your identity in things that are intangible, that can't be removed, the stronger you become, the more your foundation is less crumbly. So I identify myself as a father, as a loving husband, as someone who takes care of the land, someone who's going to give back to others. Those are my foundations that I believe in. If you think and ground yourself in that every day, then everything else will worry about itself. You can go on succeeding in life by giving back to others or doing good things for other people, or you can focus on your children or focus on your family, and those things are going to be more rewarding to you than any election or the stock market or a virus or anything else that's going on. Just hold on to what's around you and give praise and thanks for everything that you have. Because even when it's gone, there's still so much blessings around you. Like I can look out at mountains and trees. And for me personally, the struggle is breathing, and I breathe in fresh air, and I'm so thankful. I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be alive. I shouldn't have all the things that I have, but I do have them. And you can take everything away from me, and I could still have my breath. I remember what it was like to struggle for breathing, and just be thankful for that. So that's what I would give to everybody is don't live in this time of fear. Adapt and overcome over obstacles, and just be empathetic. Don't be so condemning to other people. Don't be so negative towards different opinions, and just put yourself in other people's shoes, be caring and loving, and try to make a difference in this world and give back in a positive way.
Wow.
Dash, I know you need to go, and I know that you've spent more time than you even said you could, and you are a gift. I mean, all of us are a gift, but honestly, your insight to what you've had to go through and the way that you have been able to deal with it, it's a true gift that you can articulate it so well. It's hard for us to understand and relate, and trying to make sense of things is very difficult for us. And we all try to make sense of it in our own way, in our own way. But sometimes you really need to hear a voice like yours in order to solidify what should I do next. And, I will never, just being so blessed to be your friend, I feel very honored to know, this country is full of people like Dash. It really is. We really do have a lot of Dashes. And whenever you think we're all divided, everything's gone to hell, just remember Dash. Remember there are a lot of people who have been through very difficult circumstances, who have come out of the other side, even on the other side of the political aisle. Those people are not your enemy. Those people are made as this fabric of this country, and they're part of the great love quilt of this country. We are proudly one of everything. And when you think you're up against a wall, you think like there's no tomorrow, you're really worried, think of what Dash said. Worry about today. What can you do to perpetuate love? What can you do to rise up and make someone else feel better? Don't be so concerned only about you. Be concerned about others, and that'll take care of you. Dash, honestly, I love you. When I say I love you, I'm proud to say I love you, and I cannot tell you how grateful I am to have you as a friend.
I love you guys too, and I just want to say, if in that last statement you said you guys are crushing it, and I don't underline that meaning. I seriously mean it. I get guys that text me that are deployed overseas we don't have anything out there. You are making a huge difference. Just your positivity, Lacey. I'll never forget. I was bringing people onto the show. I remember that kid. All he wanted to do was talk to you and just tell you how much he loved you. You guys are amazing. The motivation you give to people. Lacey, you had an amazing story, a lot of struggle in your life, and you're such a motivation and inspiration to other people. So what you guys do is incredible. Don't undermine. Don't try to say, be like the Dashes. I would say be like yourself, because what you're doing is phenomenal. So keep up the great work. John, keep spreading that positivity. And Lacey, it's such an honor to meet you guys, but I really do have to go. I got to go drive the school bus.
Thank you so much, man. We appreciate it. Hopefully we can bring you back on soon.
Absolutely. All righty. Well, God bless you, Dash. So there, Lacey, let me tell you, hopefully our audience learned a little bit of something. I know that comments in our chat room are just full of people who lost somebody, in the military, and are so grateful to be able to spend time with Dash. I mean, this is really a special time.
I'm speechless, John. You know what? The biggest thing I think is somebody who, has been through a lot, and you could just tell in his eyes that he is so kind and so happy, and what he's been through has not destroyed him. It hasn't made him hard. It hasn't made him mean. And I feel like that just opened up my mind and my eyes, because I think I carry so much weight and anger like that I can't even express. And it's obvious in so many things I do. I'm very, very I'm very rough around the edges. And I feel like it's because I hold so much anger and just emotion because of what I've been through. And at what point am I going to let that go and just realize that I made it? I'm happy, I'm healthy, and I'm a grown woman with a baby and my own family. And I get to say what happens to my family. I get to create my life. And So yeah, John, honestly, what I got out of this episode is that I need to stop letting what I've been through anger me so much that because I could feel it and I could see it in this man. I could see it in his eyes that he is not a victim of what he's been through. He is not letting this make him so mean and angry and just not miserable, because I'm not miserable, but I find myself, sitting sometimes and just being like, damn, like, why me? Like, why is my brain like this and what I've been through? And it's just incredible. Like, I'm going to definitely start working on that because I want to motivate people. I want to show people what they're capable of. And then you bring people like this on that shows me what I'm capable of. Like, I can get through what I've been through, and I can make it not dictate my life anymore. And so that's something I'm working on. And that's something that he obviously has excelled in and has realized. And I'm just in awe at this man of how he's just so kind.
Yeah. I will tell you, working with Killcliff, like I told you, founded by a Navy SEAL and run by a Navy SEAL. When I say I am so blessed to meet some incredible people, there's something about there, and Lacey, you know this really, really well. There's something about the shared experience of, being outside of the comfort zone that most people have and experiencing something so profound that you learn to be incredibly present. And
right.
That gift of now, that's it. My eyes have been so open to now is a gift right now. That's why it's called a present. It is a gift. I feel so blessed that, and it's not just Navy SEALs. It's obviously from every division. Sometimes people come back and they're down or they feel broken, like Ozzy. Ozzy's like, oh my God, I felt so broken, but he found his way out and he was able to climb out of it. For those who feel like it's dark and there is no light, there actually is. And we together as a community need to reach out to all of our friends, all of our neighbors, and really tell everyone there is light. And that light should be you. You should be that light that someone can reach to get out of darkness.
Right. You said it best. And his story, I'm just still like, honestly, I can't wait till we get off here so I could start digging into his social media because there's people out there that even motivate the most motivated and bring them up and open their eyes. And that happened for me today, John. So thank you for bringing him on. And thank you for not telling me, because I got to hear it firsthand and feel it. And it's wow.
It's wow. And I do want to take a moment. It is Veterans Day. And Lacey, I cannot tell you how grateful I am that we met. And we met I can't even remember how we met, but the second that we met, I was like, oh my God, I have not met somebody with your energy and your what you're bringing. I love the expression, you're either an asset or a liability, and you are such a massive asset to this world and to life. I cannot tell you how grateful I am, and we have a lot of fun kidding with each other. But yeah. I am being so serious when I tell you you are special, and this show and the people in our community has been just such a blessing. I've had so much fun, experiencing the energy and going back and forth and really knowing how your place. What I love the most about Lacey Evans is that you have made your place and you own it as well as anybody I've ever met. And I honestly appreciate how authentic you are, especially on Veterans Day. Yes, thank you for your service, but thank you even more for being authentic.
Thank you, John. I appreciate it. And I like working with you because you keep me, not so mean sometimes, your smiles, you give all the smiles needed for this show. Because if not, I'd just punch the screen sometimes.
Exactly. All right. Well, people in our audience probably don't recognize us because we're loving on each other today.
I know.
It's, we'll get back at it next week. Everybody out there who where there are too many comments to go down. I mean, it's just the engagement on the show is just out of control. But for everybody who's lost someone, who's a veteran, or just to everybody who's lost someone, we are praying for you. And, just remember that now is a present. Just remember that and think of Dash. Go back. This is an episode to rewatch.
Yes, for sure. That's as soon as I get off here. I mean, this is definitely one of those. I mean, I think that it goes just from the minute of his birth. It goes further than just veterans. It goes further than just active duty and military. This is a human being who from the minute of birth has had to fight to be who he is. And definitely. So for sure. Share this. Definitely share this, because there are people out here that needs to hear his story and realize that they can do it. It's not why me, it's what's next.
Amen. All right, everyone. Well, we will see you next week. God bless you. And we really appreciate your support. Honestly, this show is a blast, and obviously it's only possible because people are tuning in and digging it. So God bless you all.